Alright everybody, welcome back on the next video. In this video we are going to talk about publicizing our assemblies and setting up code references. So code references are what we're going to need to reference the Valheim assemblies, the publicized versions of them so we have access to everything, and how to get that configured. This will also allow you, for most of the Odin Plus team and a lot of devs, that we tend to put things in the default Valheim install. So if you've been following along, you most likely did not close this out. If you did, just make sure you jump back. But the clean Valheim install is still a separate folder. But we're going to drop everything in the default spot. Okay, keep in mind, if this is in a different location, if you're using any of my templates, this could cause you reference errors. Just make sure that you set up your references specific to your machine if you need to. All of mine will always reference where Valheim is installed in that specific default folder. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get ready to set up our code portion to bring this into the game. So go to github.com/cabbagecrow assembly publicizer, and I'll hover above that just for a second so you guys can see it before I start clicking. So once you're here, you're ready to go. You're going to click on releases. And again, you don't need the source code because we're not trying to download the entire project and how it was made. We just need the DLL, right? Or in this case, the exe. So when you download this, and I've downloaded this already in the past, when you download this, you're going to get another folder that you're going to have to unzip. We have the assembly publicizer and we have the exe in here, okay? So I am going to jump where I have it installed, but I have standalone Windows, and it happens to be in the same folder, so this is where my projects are, but I also have the asset ripper and assembly publicizer and stuff in here. So assembly publicizer, I don't need any of these DLLs, so I'm going to not confuse you guys, will look probably very similar to this, okay? So what we need to do is publicize the default Valheim assemblies. We need to basically take something that is a private method that we might need to latch into with our code and publicize it. Make it a public method so we can access the code that's inside of it, transpile it, etc. Easiest way to do that, and you will do this for every single Valheim update, game update. Okay, so as long as you have a clean Valheim install, you're going to need to do this, and you're going to also need to install BepInEx as BepInEx updates. So keep that in mind. That's why I recommend keeping the clean one, so you can just drag in the clean and then overwrite and do all this stuff again if you need to. So where we find those is Valheim data, managed, and then we have every single thing that is an assembly underscore, not assembly C#, not this one, but this one and up. Okay, so these. The reason why I recommend having two windows and having this be where we install things is because all of my templates and pretty much everyone's templates will probably point to this folder and have publicized assemblies. So drag from the right to the left. We're going to start with assembly Valheim and work our way up. So drag it directly onto the exe. It's going to pop up with this prompt here, and something that you need to note, my templates are set up to do this, so if you're using my templates, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're not, and you want to do this on your own, make sure that you are allowing unsafe blocks, or in this case, unsafe code, inside of your C# projects when you make your projects, okay? So drag it on there. We dragged it onto the exe. If you notice, we now have a new folder here, publicized assemblies. And then it's the same assembly, same size, it's just we now have access to all of the members and all of the methods. So you're going to do that for every single one of the assembly underscores. And again, you do this for every single Valheim update. And if BepInEx updates but Valheim did not, you don't have to get rid of this folder. You can wipe out different things. I can't remember what I've just done. Simple mesh. So we're going to go to post-processing. And again, you'll have to drag them one by one. Sadly, assembly publicizers DLL can't accept more. I think there is a pull request on the GitHub that's in the background that allows that, but currently not. You should have 9 files. So once you have the 9 files here, leave them here. Don't touch them. We're gonna reference these in our code and kind of get this set up for ourselves. Okay. So we're done with Assembly Publicizer. We're done with pretty much everything we need. This video is really setting up your code references and publicizing your assemblies. So this should be relatively short. So once we're done, we have our asset ripper and our assembly publicizer that is finished. We have, hopefully by now, Unity Hub. The next thing that we need, and I probably shouldn't have closed out that folder, is to go to valheim.thunderstore.io. This is where you'll find a lot of mods. A lot of modders are now active on this site versus Nexus. And the R2 mod man, which is the mod manager for you here, keeps your Valheim install clean. I highly recommend it. This will keep it clean and separate everything out for you into your own profiles, so you can have mixed match mods and swap things out. I'll do a whole video on that as well. I'll actually make a note for it. But we need BepInEx, the latest version of BepInEx. So BepInEx does have a GitHub, but keep in mind that this is BepInEx for Valheim. Okay, there's additional things specific to Valheim that are inside of this pack. So we're going to do a manual download, and I do have it downloaded. I don't know why the site can't be reached, but we do have the download here. It's another one of those things, and it re-downloaded, I guess. It's another one of those things that you have to unzip. All right, so for sake of argument, I am going to show you to extract. I use 7-zip. I'm going to extract that to a new folder. And then we have, so these are Thunderstore required items. Don't worry about those. We actually need to go one folder deep. And then we have all of these. We have BepInEx unstripped core libs, which if you notice, these are all Unity engine core libs. Valheim strips their code out. So I'm going to close this all out, and I'm going to pull this up. So we have our publicized assemblies here. We need BepInEx in the default Valheim install folder. All right, so we're going to jump all the way out to where our Valheim exe is. We're going to highlight this. You can Control-C and Control-V, or right-click, copy, cut, whatever you want to do. Just get it over here. I don't recommend moving it, because you're probably going to need to reference this again if Valheim updates and you want to just quick and easy wipe the folder, republicize your assemblies, and then just drag and drop this again. So I'm going to Control-C and Control-V. And we now have BepInEx references. And we now have all of our Valheim data publicized assembly references that we're going to be using in our code. Okay? So in the next code, in the next video, I will be talking about how to bring in that piece that we created and get our project set up using the piece manager. And I'll show you both ways to do it. I'll show you a template way to do it as well, and get things rolling. So save this. I recommend keeping BepInEx somewhere installed on your machine. I'm going to delete all these because I don't need them anymore. But keep that installed somewhere safe on your machine, and as BepInEx updates on Thunderstore, you'll be able to know and kind of get that going for yourself. So